Good morning, my dears, and welcome to another video. This video is not exactly starting the way which I had thought it would or intended to, which I feel like I have so much to tell you and they're all interrelated, so let me start. So we are moving in just a couple weeks, which meant that last night I went out with a bunch of Canadian friends in the city, right near the Tower of London actually, so it felt like a very iconic kind of like last London evening. And it turned into a bit larger of a event than I had originally thought it would be. So that is why I left my car at Sloane Square last night and did not pick it up. And this morning, what I wanted to do in today's vlog is, now that we're leaving the city, I wanted to give a little tour of all of my favorite places in our neighborhood of Chelsea. So I'm going to share with you after this all of my favorite spots if you ever come to Chelsea, if you ever live in Chelsea, sort of the must hit, the must know, the must go places. That is the first thing I want to do with you. I also have I'll call it a tablecloth dress haul, which I want to share with you as well. I got a few dresses recently. I want to try them on with you and decide. I think I'm keeping them all, but there's one which I'm not sure on, so we will decide that together. But before all of that, we are going to my favorite spa, the Bamford Wellness Spa at Brompton Cross, just on the edge of Chelsea. That's where we're walking to right now. Then we have to go pick up my car at Sloane Square, which is thankfully just a couple-minute walk. And then we are going to head actually a little bit outside of Chelsea. We're going into South Kensington, and that is where there's a new reformer Pilates studio, and I'm a fan. I got one of those like intro 3-class passes there. So we're going to that. It's an intermediate class, and I had a few drinks last night, so this should be interesting. So yes, moving, I need to tell you about that. So we have lived in London for the past year and a half, and it has been so incredible. We've truly loved the city. It is an amazing place to live. But for my husband's work, it is not the best thing in the world. And so I don't know if anyone else, tell me in the comments if you have had this struggle with your spouse, but it can be very difficult for two people to find the place which works for them to, one, want to be there, and two, work for your work. And so London was definitely a move for me. Previous to that, we were in Germany, and that was for my husband. And this time it is hopefully a place where we both get almost, not 100%, in any marriage there's compromise, but a good portion of what we both want in a location. So I'll give you a hint. It's not where I'm from Canada. It's not where my husband is from. He's from Germany, but it is still within Europe. So I will let you take guesses in the comments maybe. And on the moving vlog, I will reveal where we are actually moving to. It is in a couple weeks from now-ish. So I still have a lot of packing to do, a lot of cleaning to do, but yeah, that is coming up very soon. My work has kind of been a little bit put on the back burner because of that. I was talking to some business friends the other day on one of our mastermind calls, and one of the girls was like, okay, what do we want to like get done and accomplish in the next month? And I was like, oh yeah, I don't have that much going on. I'm just moving and hiring someone and launching a new business, and I think that's it. And then doing the day-to-day of running my own business currently. And it's not that much. And they were like, that's actually a lot of things. And I realized, yeah, you might be right. So to be honest, I haven't maybe accomplished as much in my own business as I would have normally, but yes. Okay, we are almost there. Let me spin you around, and we're going into Bamford. complete. That was lovely. I really love Bamford, the London one, for everything relaxing. So massages, I had Reiki healing there once, which was really fun. They have a very small studio up at the very top of the building, and it is good for yoga classes, everything, again, coming back to relaxation. Yin yoga, sound healing, all of those sorts of things is really great. The one that they have out in the Cotswolds, they do a lot more athletic classes. So more intense yoga classes or reformer Pilates or whatever, but they don't actually have that in the London one. It is quite a small place, but it's really beautiful, and it's truly my favorite place to go for massages. They also have, if you get the app, they will have packages of massages. So I think you get 6 massages for the price of 5 or something if you buy the package. And so I do get that, and I go once a month. It's really lovely. But anyways, the next thing we are doing is headed over to South Ken for this Pilates class. I'm really nervous. I don't feel great right now. I don't drink often. I just don't really find it that worth it. And this right now is exactly what I mean. Is like, you want to be healthy, and then you go out for cocktails the night before, and you're just like, can I make it through this Pilates class without dying? We're about to find out. Okay, it is a few hours later. The Pilates class is complete. I didn't show you where I went or inside or anything, because to be honest, the first time I went, I didn't love the studio, but I was like, it's okay, I'll give it a second try. Didn't love it the second time, and I've generally in my business, I don't want to bash a business, a small business, that would not be a good thing. So far, I've always taken the route of, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all when it comes to creating content on anything. And I think maybe there's going to be a time and place in the future when policy would not work. But for this, I would just say, not my favorite place I've ever been. But what we're about to do is I'm going to take you around London, Chelsea, and show you all of my favorite places. I have scoped out and lived here for 1.5 years now, so I've seen all the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mostly just good. And I want to show you my absolute favorite places. So if you're ever coming to London or going to live here, that these are definitely page verified, solid places to go. We're talking restaurants, cafes, co-working-ish cafes, spas, everything, Pilates studios, those sorts of things. That's what we're going to be showing you. 1 or 2 of these places are technically outside of Chelsea, but this is, if you live in Chelsea, I mean, there's a few things that are just on the outskirts. One is just on the other side of the bridge in Battersea. One of them is in Belgravia, and one of them is in South Ken, but they're all, 90% of these items are in Chelsea. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the Chelsea tour. So the first place on our tour is the Chelsea Gardner Cafe. This place is perfect. There's a lot of people who co-work from here during the day. So this is my favorite place to go if I just want to quickly get out of the house and work out of home for a few hours, but don't want to go all the way to my co-working space, or Soho House, which takes a bit longer to get to. The cafe is attached to a beautiful garden center, so it's always nice to wander around there too. Next up on our list is the Ivy. This is my absolute favorite place to take guests when they come and they want to have a traditional English afternoon tea. Of course, you can go to places in central London like the Ritz, which is, I feel like, honestly very touristy, whereas the Ivy is just authentic Londoners who are having their Sunday afternoon tea. And it's a really amazing vibe and atmosphere, and the decor of the place is absolutely gorgeous. So we have made it to Sloane Square and Pavilion Road area. This area has about 75 things, which I love, all within a 3-minute walk radius. It is a beautiful area. So on Sloane Square itself, my favorite places are the Vita Pilates, has amazing classes. It also has a little cafe area in there in the front. It has the world's most life-changing carrot cupcakes. They are heavenly. Ah, no more carrot muffins. And that is also a place which, if you want to work from Sloane Square area, that's another place where you'll often see people with their laptops during the day. Cote is an amazing French restaurant just right on the square as well. And then in the summer, they also have what they call Summer on Sloane Square. So it's a little sort of pop-up outdoor beer garden-y vibe happening there, and it's lovely as well. Then just behind Sloane Square, we have Pavilion Road. And so Pavilion Road is just a little pedestrian street. It is absolutely beautiful, always busy, always lively. It has an amazing spinning class location. So KXU has very exciting, very intense, very fun spin classes. Then there's also the most amazing ice cream on this road as well. There is, of course, a few other shops and bits and pieces here, but those are my two favorite things on Pavilion Road. Definitely chose the wrong day to film this. It is such a busy Sunday afternoon. That's kind of hilarious. I've never seen Pavilion Road that busy ever. Next up, we need to go to South Ken to go to my favorite store of all of the stores. I'm literally wearing a dress from there right now. Okay, we made it to Notting Hill just 10 minutes before Cezanne closes, so let's go in real quick.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Success, they were still open, though they had closed their fitting rooms. So I got a dress and I will try it on at home and see if I like it. And if not, I will bring it back here because I couldn't actually try on the size. Next, let's head back towards Chelsea direction. We're actually going to stop in Battersea and Belgravia to show you two things there, and then we will head back to Chelsea and I can show you my favorite pub. Okay, I don't know if you can tell from the lighting, but it's 2 hours later. The amount of time that it takes to actually film this video is craziness. So it was 6:30. I was really hungry, so I ran back to my flat and grabbed dinner. Did not show you any part of that because I have ripped my apartment apart with the amount of cooking which I did this weekend, which is not normal, but anyways. So we still have more on the tour. We still need to go to a favorite pub, restaurant, meditation studios. There's still more to come, but it might be like 5 minutes of video to you, but that literally took me 2 hours to film the portion of the tour which I've done so far. I enjoyed my dinner. I had some leftovers from last night and then just was exhausted and spent an hour laying in my bed watching a few YouTube videos. I'm just it's literally my job these days to watch YouTube videos, which is just so fantastic that that is my work. And so I'm studying YouTube and learning how to take cool shots and everything. So yeah, it's lots of fun. Okay, let's talk more tour. Let's keep going. Okay, and next up we have Remind Studio. This is a meditation studio. They have meditations, sound healings. It's a really lovely place to go. It is actually in Belgravia though, not in Chelsea, but it's worth the trip. In terms of grocery stores, the three best in the area are Dalesford Organic, which is right by my favorite spa, which I took you to earlier today, and that is the Bamford Wellness. They're actually, I think, owned by the same people. So Dalesford Organic, fabulous grocery store. A little pricey, but wonderful. And doesn't unfortunately have everything though. If you want everything, then the Whole Foods in South Kensington is actually probably the best place to go for good quality, organic, and also you can do an entire grocery shop there. Alternatively, if you just need a few small things, the Bailey and Sage, the closest one to me is actually just across the Albert Bridge on the Battersea side, and that is also fantastic if you just need to pick up, I don't know, some fresh milk and apples or whatever it is. When it comes to hotels and where to stay in Chelsea, there are 3 places which I recommend, 2 specifically in Chelsea, 1 just on the border. So the first is 11 Cadogan. So that is a place I've stayed there myself. It is beautiful. It backs onto Pavilion Road and it is a lovely little hotel. Then also another great place to stay is Sloane Place. That is a hotel which a bunch of friends have stayed at. They all had really great experiences there. And also Sloane Place also has a restaurant attached to it where I always seem to end up for brunch on a Saturday because I am not organized enough to plan my brunch multiple days in advance. And it seems like everywhere on Pavilion Road, for example, there's Granger & Co., which is highly popular. And I literally have never actually gone for brunch there because it is always so booked up. When it comes to being in London, you always need to book your restaurant reservations days in advance, and it drives me up a wall. So I've never made it to Granger & Co. for brunch, but my backup is always Sloane Place restaurant. You tend to be able to, on a Friday night, to be able to book brunch for Saturday morning. And so it also has a fantastic brunch and a really lovely vibe and decor on the inside. And the final hotel of the 3 hotels which I would recommend in the area, this one is actually just on the border / edge of Chelsea, and it is the Lime Tree Hotel. I have hosted some work events there and some work colleagues there, and it's very adorable. It is absolutely, the style is mine, and so I really love that place. It's small, it's quaint, it's on a pedestrian street. It is kind of close to Victoria Station, so if you walk in one direction, it's not very nice, but if you walk in any other direction, it is lovely. And again, a lot of beautiful cafes and bars and restaurants, and also Philip Tracy, a really beautiful hat store, is there as well. The next best spot, which is admittedly not in Chelsea. Chelsea is right across the river there. This is the beautiful Albert Bridge. I think the most stunning bridge in London. And this is the gorgeous Battersea Park. It is such a wonderful green space. Hardly any tourists actually in here. So very different than Hyde Park. And we have just had so many incredible walks in this park and nice, enjoyable chats on a bench. It's the reason that we chose to live just across the river, was because the park was so close by. Chelsea doesn't have any major park of its own, so Battersea is basically full of Chelsea residents. Next up is, of course, a very important discussion in London, and that is pubs. So I'm going to show you my 2 favorite pubs. One is in Battersea, and then the other is back on Chelsea side. So the best one in Battersea, I would say, is the Prince Albert. It is great vibe, amazing back patio area, really lovely pub quiz with a man who is meant to host pub quizzes. It happens, I think it's every Tuesday, and just go at some point, and assuming it's still the same guy who runs it, you will just understand what I mean when, like, some people are just working jobs where they are meant to do the job, and this man was meant to run a pub quiz. He just has so much fun doing it, and it definitely shows. Next up is the gym. Unfortunately, it has some scaffolding up, so it's not looking its most beautiful at the moment. But this is such an exceptionally cool restaurant. It's Italian food, and it has this sort of double-decker style seating, which is really fun and interesting. Best movie theater is the Everyman. They almost never have any actual movies on, but when they do, and you have the pleasant joy of getting to watch a movie there, their service is incredible, and you can get entire meals to your seat. It's just really a wonderful experience. And they have sort of couch seats as well, which is very nice. The next pub is the Cadogan Arms. This is good no matter if you want a wild night out or something a little bit quieter. At the front, it tends to be really busy, really packed, really good vibe, and also outside. And then towards the back and also downstairs, it tends to be a lot more relaxed of an atmosphere. So no matter which you are feeling that night, you have both options. And this pub is conveniently right on Kings Road and right near the Jam. So if you want to go to the Jam for dinner or maybe to the Everyman for a movie, they're all on basically the same corner. Good morning, my dears. I hope you enjoyed that tour from yesterday. That took me an unbelievable amount of time to film. I did not expect that would take, it took me almost 5 hours to do the entire thing. So that took a little while, but I hope that you now know everything to do and see and go to and the best places in Chelsea. I missed one place on that tour, which when I went, it was already closed and it did not look good, so I didn't take any shots of it. But there's a coffee shop called Hagen, and it is on a beautiful little square. It's actually just in Belgravia, very close to the Remind Studio and the Lime Tree Hotel. You know what I'll probably do? I'll take all of the links of the places which I mentioned and the Google Maps locations, and I'll put it all into a PDF, and I'll link that for you below or up above here. So if you want to know exactly where all those things are and how to get there and everything, I'll pop it all in a PDF. But anyways, just know Hagen is also a fantastic coffee shop. Such a lovely place, great to go sit and enjoy and read a book on a beautiful little square. Has very Italian piazza vibes to it. It doesn't have Wi-Fi, so if you want to work from there, I just honestly hotspot for my phone. If you get unlimited Wi-Fi, then you're pretty set. And it doesn't even matter at this point if coffee shops have Wi-Fi. So yeah, that is also a lovely spot to check out too. And the one thing which I did not speak about, which is obviously the shopping. Clearly Kings Road is the place for the shopping. I find that the best shopping, if you start at Sloane Square, if you come into Chelsea and you want to get into Chelsea, then Sloane Square is the tube station to go to. And then basically you have two roads that you can head down. Towards Hyde Park, Harrods area is all the super luxury designer stores. And then if you go down Kings Road towards Fulham, that is the more, also, I don't know how you call it, not super luxury, but lovely, really wonderful stores. So down that way, you'll find things like Ralph Lauren, Lululemon, which my husband calls the Canadian Embassy. Anthropologie, Self-Portrait, the Zara home is that way as well, which is my favorite thing. I don't really shop at Zara itself that much because I'm not so into the fast fashion vibe, but Zara home I have a soft spot in my heart for. Basically, the further you progress down Kings Road, it's the best towards Sloane Square, and then as you get further down, it is less and less great. Once you get to the Anthropologie, that's about the last good thing on the street, I would say. And then beyond that, you get into the Chelsea Design Quarter. So if you want furniture and interiors and those sorts of things, that's down actually towards and gets into Fulham. So yeah, that is a little where to shop type thing. Basically, walk down Kings Road. The next thing I wanted to do with you was our little tablecloth dress try on. I got a couple dresses from Cezanne and then two also from Farm Rio, which is a brand which is new to me. And I thought it was some very fun pieces which I saw online from them. So let's get started. So the best thing about this dress, I love it for so many reasons. I do have to admit, I wish it was a little bit longer. Once you put a belt with it, it gets a tad on the short side for my taste, but whatever. I am in love with the pattern. I am in love with the eyelet and the embroidery. It is absolutely beautiful. Very much so. Looks like it came straight off your table and they turned it into a dress. I love the frills happening up here. I have it open. I feel like when you close it up, it's a little too Victorian vibes for my taste, but if you open it up, I think it looks lovely. The best thing about this dress is definitely full length sleeves. It is so hard to find a dress with full length sleeves, and I love that for the fact that you can wear the dress in winter. I find all of the things which are short sleeve or just straps is so hard to wear them also in winter, and basically my winter uniform is dress with black tights and boots. So this dress is fabulous, definitely in the summer, but also in the winter. I am in love. Good job, Suzanne. Next up is the dress which I picked up literally in 10 minutes at Suzanne yesterday when we were doing the tour. I'm such a fan. This is so flattering. Loving the sleeves. I think they're just so cute. The pattern is fantastic. Loving the all one color. I also don't own that much green and I'm a fan. I feel like if you're a redhead, it's a good color for you. And yeah, a little bit like 1950s housewife vibes, but I'm into it. And especially loving the length on this one, much better than the last. It has eyelet, it has scallops. I am here for the design. Well done, Suzanne. You obviously can't wear a bra with this one because of the open back, but if that's okay with you, then it is a great dress. Okay, next up is this dress from Farm Rio. Farm Rio is a brand completely new to me. I actually saw Suzanne did a collaboration with Farm Rio, which is how I even found the brand. And then I started looking at their pieces and I was just in love with how fun the prints were. And this dress is no different. I think it's absolutely lovely. My only complaint is these sleeves have the world's non-elasticy elastic. And so when you try to have the sleeves sort of up, they always fall back down, which is a little bit frustrating. But otherwise, I think it is extremely fun. It's very lightweight. You could really only wear it like spring, summer, but I do really love it. Okay, this next one is an insane amount of fun. I do not own anything like this in my wardrobe, but I think it is really unique and really special. So it has a mix of a very tropical print and a little bit of lace details happening, sort of overlaid or also sort of sections of lace on the sleeves. And I think it is really something special. This is another one from Farm Rio. I think the shape is fantastic. I'm in love with the sleeves. It's not like the other one from Farm Rio where the elastic is not elasticy enough for it to stay up on the sleeves. This one, it is not a problem. The length is lovely. I feel like this one is such a fantastic find. Okay friends, it is a few days later and I realized I had not filmed the outro to this video. Once I finished doing the dress try on, I had to quickly run to an event. So it was a few days later and I realized I should probably finish this. So thank you so much for watching to the end if you got to this point. You might notice the apartment behind me looks very clean, a little bit, well, empty. It's a fully furnished apartment. I just finished packing up and cleaning our apartment and I'm about to make a few-hour drive through the Eurotunnel and then into the continent. The next video will be all about moving, so I'm excited to share where we're going with you. It's a really cool location. All right, well, anyways, that is all for now. I wish you a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe so you can see where we go next.